Hello everyone. Today is Saturday, February 10th, 2024 at 9:53 p.m. Excuse me. Excuse me. I just noticed that my eyebrows on the left side seem like they're thicker than the eyebrows on my right side. But anyway, my eyebrows both of them used to be thicker than this. So this is the right side, this is the left side. And this phone camera, with this particular phone, it's like mirror image rather than reality, This is actually my left side, but the way y'all are viewing it looks like my right side. I really hate that, you know. I would prefer reality image, not mirror image of the phone camera. But if I flip the camera the other way, it would be reality image. But on my other previous phones, it wasn't mirror image, it was more reality image. But anyway, though. So today, I took out the trash. And the video from last night, it uploaded this morning. It took like over 12 hours to upload. Because of the speed of this Wi-Fi. So, I had a very good day at work. But this is my third day today at work. I had a very good day at work. But immediately after work, I had like another little issue. So, well, that Dakota person, I saw her do the devil horns hand sign in my view again today. So that Ray guy, come to find out his name is Ray because his name is Raymond. Like my nephew, the biological nephew Raymond. Yeah, they got the same name. And then there's another coworker, with the same name as my twin sister, but her name is Brandy with an I, not a Y. So yeah, it's hard to avoid Dakota and stay out of her way because she's the cashier that I have to deal with. She's the cashier, so I have to deal with her. Otherwise, I don't have any other way to avoid her and stay out of her way. So, well, Dakota, that's the one that was rude as fuck. Like, my first day over there, when I went to go eat lunch, and then I went to inquire about the job. I told y'all that, I think it was last night, So Dakota, she's like a devil worshiper with a bad attitude, pretty much, Maybe I should be calling her Miss Dakota or Mrs. Dakota since she's much older. But, yeah, well, she pretty much soured my work experience, by her just being rude. And she threw up the devil horns in front of my face again. today, but she was talking to another employee and threw up the devil horns. Um, so then she had like everything was fine when I went to work, and then I got my lunch break and I was trying to pay for the food, for the half price for food or whatever. And the Miss Dakota, she had like kind of like a disgusted attitude, and then she got a disgusted attitude and then rushed me saying that I'm sorry, my eye is itching right there. She was saying she didn't have time for something, I don't remember, but I was trying to make attempts to try to pay for the food or whatever, and she got an attitude and told me to come back later in the afternoon or something like that. And I was trying to ask for the ticket or the receipt so I can try to pay for the food, and she just rushed me and got an attitude or whatever, and told me to come back later on in the afternoon and said she didn't have time for whatever. And I don't remember. It didn't even look like it was busy, you know. So then, I went to go and get the water, and I did not realize that I purchased an extra side item by accident. Um, where I grabbed an extra side item by accident, and I got confused. But I made a point to not have dessert today. So even though I was highly tempted to have dessert, but I had to discipline myself and try to restrain myself. But for breakfast, I had the last two granola bars, and now I have like um well I I have a couple of little packages of snacks now. But other than that, I almost was gonna say that I have no more food in this hotel room. But I purchased some snacks, um a couple of packs of snacks this evening right after work. So if it weren't for those snacks, I would end up saying that I have absolutely no food in this house. I mean, this hotel room. So then, excuse me. So, so yeah, I just had the two granola bars and a couple of spoonfuls of the expeller pressed coconut oil. That was all they had as far as unrefined. It was, I got it from Winn Dixie last week or the week before or whatever. It was expeller pressed. No, it was last week, a week ago. It was expeller pressed coconut oil. I was trying to get cold pressed unrefined, but I didn't know until after I got it. I think or did I realize that that was all they had? I mean, I wasn't trying to get the refined. I was trying to get unrefined. You know, cold pressed unrefined. But they didn't have cold pressed, so I think that I think I got the expeller pressed because that was all they had. But yeah, I had a couple of spoonfuls of the coconut oil, and then so yeah, I had you know Dakota. Miss Dakota had like an attitude of and rushed me, you know, with the lunch break or whatever, and then so then I went back to work and I was sleep deprived and tired and feeling fatigued like all day long. And like if my job, I was sitting down and rolling the silverware in the side of the napkins, and I'm like, why am I so tired? And why am I fatigued? Or why am I just, excuse me, I'm sitting down doing the job. It's like, I don't know why I felt like fatigued, like as if I've been running around a lot and doing a lot of physical activity. I'm just sitting down. But sleep deprivation might have something to do with it. But my sleep was a little bit better last night, even though I didn't fall asleep until like after 1 o'clock in the morning, you know, because I did the video last night and I just felt the need to vent, you know. And then 1 o'clock in the morning I uploaded the video. I mean, it was like 12:30 I think I got done, and I uploaded the video. And then I went to sleep. I woke up, the video was still uploading. And so then excuse me. I mean, I had an okay time while on my shift, working, and tried to be as busy as possible and try to be as productive and try to do my job the right way, you know. And the Ray guy, Raymond Ray or whatever, I'm glad. Well, he kept complimenting me, on doing a good job the whole day, And so then, after it was time for me to clock out and go home, I tried to buy dinner, you know, and well, like earlier in the day, I don't know what time it was. It might have been right before or right after my lunch break, and Miss Phyllis told me hi and smiled like as if nothing was, you know, not as if nothing happened. But excuse me, like I went to bed like mad last night, and I woke up mad woke up this morning kind of angry and mad and feeling startled or whatever. But I mean, so Miss Phyllis, like, she waved at me or whatever and said hi earlier and smiled or whatever. But I didn't say much to her. Excuse me. And then after my shift, um, I tried to buy dinner, and so I mean, she publicly humiliated me in front of everybody and said, "You eating again?" Well, she ate lunch around the same time, and I ate lunch around 2 o'clock. But a lot of us, ate our lunch. So, when I right after I got done working my shift and I was trying to buy dinner, and she's like, "You eating again?" In front of everybody. They have a nice bit of overweight people at the job. Even one of the managers, I mean, I don't know how tall he is, but the one who hired me, he's extremely tall. And I don't know how many pounds he weighs, but I mean, he is huge. You know, excuse me. I mean, they have quite a bit of. It seems like they got a lot of managers, but he's like a big, huge guy. And they got even a couple of the women that's like, I guess, bigger than me. You know, but I mean, what's wrong with eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner? I mean, I'm pretty sure that you have. I mean, if you're a manager, you know, excuse me, if you're a manager, I'm pretty sure that you might have, I mean, came across employees or coworkers that eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You know, excuse me. So she told me that she paid for my lunch earlier. I'm like, oh, well, thank you. I didn't even realize, I didn't know that she paid for my lunch earlier, but I tried to pay for my lunch earlier. And as I said, Miss Dakota, I told y'all what she did. So, when Miss Phyllis gave me the ticket to for the dinner, and my meal was, half price for the dinner. Excuse me. And the brandy person, she told me if I were to take my food to go, that I would have to pay full price, but if I ate it at the restaurant, then it would be half price. So, you know, I ate it at the restaurant, and then well, I'm surprised that the food tasted pretty good today. You know, so it looks like um it looks like as if they have mostly the same items, but I guess every day they might have a few different or unique items, you know. Excuse me. But yeah, I mean the food was pretty good today, but yesterday everything was bland. You know. I mean, so but well, I mean, excuse me. Yeah, so I disciplined myself to not have dessert. No cake, no pie. Um, you know, and it felt odd. It felt different. For me to not have dessert, but I tried to, you know, not have dessert. But then, so yeah, so she gave me the ticket, and then I went down to go eat, and then, you know, the cashier, the devil worshiping cashier, Dakota. Well, I mean, you show your allegiance to the devil when you be throwing up satanic hand signs and stuff. And so the devil worshiping Dakota, when I try to go and give her my receipt and pay for my meal, um, she got an attitude and act like as if acting like she was disgusted with me and like I get on her last nerve and everything, you know. Excuse me. And I'm surprised, Well, I'm not. There was something else I was gonna say, but I'm gonna hold off on it because I don't want the perps to get ideas. But anyway, so then excuse me, I got a little mucus in my throat. So then after work, I went to try to buy something nutritious and healthy, and in the cashier at that place um that I went to, she had like a really nasty attitude, and her name was Destiny, and excuse me, I tried to ask her, am I still able to get the rewards points if I pay in cash? And she was really rude or whatever. And everything I try to ask to buy, she kept saying that they were out of this, they were out of that, or whatever, or they didn't have this, they didn't have that. And I said, well, are you okay? Because you seem like, are you having a rough day today? And so then she said that she had so she then after that she said that she had a that she was just tired and annoyed because the place of business was not busy. That the business was slow, and that she was just tired and anxious and ready to go home. And then and she said that she had an hour and 15 minutes left. I had just gotten off from work, and she had she said she had an hour and 15 minutes left, and she like got an attitude with me because she was ready to go home. And as time went on, and she got more and more increasingly rude as fuck. And so I told her that I will never come back there again. Well, I probably might, just not when she's working there. And I told her I was gonna tell her manager, and she acted unfazed. You know, but it's like, what the hell is wrong with everybody? Is it bitch day today that everybody got an attitude everywhere I go? You know, so they had this perp in this truck that followed me all the way. He had one fog light removed, and he had an Oklahoma license plate, but I couldn't quite get his license plate number. And he excuse me, he kept following me around, you know, and then and then he beat me to the hotel. Excuse me. He beat me to the hotel, and I think at one point I no, it wasn't him, it was another vehicle trying to run me over. You know. And so that concludes my day today. But hold on right quick. I'm back. I had to use the bathroom so bad. So one of the coworkers tried to, you know, I guess I should just say that, I guess he wanted to he I guess tried to ask me out, but I feel like I feel like embarrassed and ashamed um with my targeting situation. Make me feel like I can't have a boyfriend or a husband or anything due to this targeting. And there's certain other things I can't mention on here. You know, um, the, the reasons why I feel like I can't be with anybody, or feel like I don't want anybody at the moment, because excuse me, they made my nose itch. I guess me feeling not worthy enough or feeling not good enough, you know, and then me feeling insecure um about certain things wrong with myself. But I'll be damned if if I ended up marrying a man and these stalkers still think that they got control over my life. When, if I married a man and then, you know, if I were to be a housewife and stuff like that, I'd be damned if these stalkers still think that they got control or authority over me. Or they would do stuff like, maliciously and intentionally, you know, excuse me, ruin the marriage. Or, destroy the marriage. Or manipulate for my husband to turn against me. Or I don't even know if this guy, if he would have end up, if he would turn into a perp later on, you know. But I mean, I'm glad that some of the people at work seem like they're really nice and love me or whatever, and welcome me. Excuse me. But Miss Phyllis, she said that she paid for my meal earlier. But I was gonna pay for it, But thank you. But I mean, she made me, her and Miss Dakota. They make me feel like as if they are difficult to approach. You know, but but yeah, um, so I do not have to work on Mardi Gras. I don't have to work on Tuesday or Wednesday. You know, but it seemed like they gang stalked me really heavy on the way coming from work. You know, it's like they gang stalked me worse coming home from work than going on my way to work. And it seemed like I almost got hit by cars, you know. So, it's very scary and dangerous. Excuse me. But I made it a point to try to push myself to have like a lot of fruits and vegetables um today. But today it's like I have a belly full, you know. But like I've been feeling fears about, about the idea of me not making enough money um to keep a roof over my head and stay off the streets, you know. Cuz remember I told y'all that landlords for certain apartment complexes or housing or whatever, y'all know how long Section 8 takes or whatever public housing. And as I said, what happened with the last place I lived at, um, I cannot do low income housing anymore due to they do for them to gang stalk me or force me out of my place to live, you know, and everything just keep on getting like, I mean, for me to have to just up and leave the place and then throw all my belongings away or leave my belongings or abandon the place due to being gang stalked so bad. You know, even in Los Angeles, I had to, was forced to have to abandon all that stuff there. Or I have to just throw away a lot of stuff and like get rid of a lot of possessions, you know, fighting for my life or, you know, and being like gang stalked out of a place and fighting for my life. So it seemed like I don't even know if I seem like I can't even live anywhere permanent anymore. I mean, how do I go to having an apartment or a Section 8 home or a place to live at for 4 years to, things being bad enough that I can't even last 1 month at what was supposed to be a permanent place to live, a permanent residence due to the gang stalking. I've seen other professed targeted individuals, if they say that due to the gang stalking, if they were forced to move 8 times in 3 months or something like that. Or in the same thing with jobs, whether it be housing or jobs or something like that. And they want to keep moving us around. That we can never stay at a permanent residence or a job for very long at all. Or we can't even keep a long relationship with nobody. You know, nothing good is long lasting with us being targeted. You know, and they took everything I got. I mean, everything I had. And it's like, well, I guess this is teaching me to not want any material possessions anymore. You know, but I'm still, as I said, I'm still devastated about, me fighting for that place to live for over 4 years. Just for that to end up happening and me not being able to stay there for, I mean, only just a month. I mean, I still can't believe it. And, so it looks like I'm sitting here trying to battle and just fight to survive. And, they force everything to be way more expensive for the target, you know. And so I had a little bit extra more help. Um, excuse me. So as I said, I just have a couple of snacks in here. A couple of packages of snacks. And, you know, I have I mean I ended up getting enough help for in addition to the idea that I was supposed to have, um just enough for until Monday morning. Um, I have enough until more like Thursday morning, but then I would have no money for, I mean, little to no money for any food to eat or anything else that I need. So in that case, um, I just have enough, funds for where I could just you know, afford to stay here until Wednesday. They have to check out Wednesday morning. Cause that'll be like if me checking out Monday morning, and then okay, Monday night, and then Tuesday night, and then Wednesday morning check out, and then be back on the street struggling with nowhere to go, and then be cold. It's Saturday, so it was supposed to rain today, but it didn't rain today. But I heard it's supposed to rain real bad tomorrow, Sunday, and then um Sunday all the way through early Monday, and then Monday is supposed to be cold. Monday through sometime later on this week it was cold, but today being Saturday, it got up into the 70s today, you know, and I was so upset with you know, about what happened before I got home, well, to the hotel, that I didn't even get to pay much attention to the weather, or how the weather felt outside. I don't remember if it was cold or warm, or I didn't remember much of anything, with that. But me just trying to get back to this hotel. And so, so I mean, so it looks like, as I said, I don't even know if I will get paid this coming Thursday or 2 Thursdays from this coming Thursday. But um and I don't know how much the check will be, you know, but it would be for, a few days of work in which you know, it seems like the day's wage is like um for the whole day it's like kind of like not even quite enough like for a hotel room for the night, but it's a something. But it seems like I would have to keep on asking for help if I could stay longer at the job, you know. um I would have to keep asking for help um until like um the 29th or something. And then by then I should the pay is so low, or the hours is, in a way that I just you know I would still, be needing to ask for help, but not as much help. As long as I got the job, I would still need help, but like help with hotel room and keeping a roof over my head or whatever. But I'm also, trying to look for. I just started this opportunity, and I feel like I don't want to quit so soon. But this is what I can get for now, you know. But I'm hoping, for something like with more hours and higher pay enough, or even if I can keep this job and maybe have like I wish I could have like a side hustle or something on the side or an additional job opportunity. Excuse me, but it's not even enough for 3.5 times the rent, and for like a regular apartment. But I think if I had to pay for a regular apartment, I would still have issues because of the gang stalking. You know, I can't even settle anywhere, you know, due to the perps running me off from everywhere or forcing me out of everywhere, you know. But I don't know why that Phyllis lady feels the need to make remarks every time I need to eat, you know. But I never heard of working at a restaurant and then you're entitled to a 50% off, half off discount, but the manager has a problem or get an attitude like as if you're not supposed to eat, you know. Or she's just acting like that because of part of the gang stalking her. Is she acting like that because she's a perp, you know. And I feel like, if the other employees can, buy the food half off or whatever, and everything be no problem. But it's only a problem if I try to buy food or whatever. You mean I can't even eat a meal on a day of work? I can't eat. That's one thing that make me not even want to work there. But I'ma still try to keep pushing though. I'ma still try to keep pushing. Trying to not quit, trying to not give up. So, I trying to be, you know, a diligent worker or trying to be a good worker or trying to help others, with my job, you know, trying to put my best foot forward. And one of the customers today, when I went to use the bathroom, she told me I would do very good with my job because she told me I'm so nice, you know. And a lot of customers at a lot of different places, even with that zoo job, they would tell me that I was so nice, you know. So, if you haven't had an attitude with me, excuse me, I'm not going to get an attitude with you or be rude to you. But sometimes if I'm having a really rough enough day, um, we all human. I might snap or get an attitude or whatever, but then, feel remorse and feel bad about it, and then come back and apologize, and explain, you know, why I was feeling the way I felt. And, if I got mad at, if I was mad for an internal reason, or someone is innocent and I snap on them or got an attitude or whatever. But, I would always come back around and apologize, you know. And I would feel terrible. I would feel really bad, and it play over in my head over and over again. Um, I hope I didn't make this person feel bad, or I hope that I didn't treat this person bad or whatever, or they're innocent, they didn't deserve this or whatever. But like one time at Seville Quarter, I probably was days of sleep deprived and had a rough day. Um, and one time I took it out on one of the customers. Like I got an attitude, you know, but then later on I felt bad and I apologized to them. And they said, "Oh no, you didn't do anything." I'm like, "No, I feel like I was rude to you. I'm so sorry." And they're like, "Oh, you didn't do me nothing." I'm like, "You sure?" I'm so sorry. You know. So yeah. Excuse me. Sorry. But yeah, I'm feeling oh wow. Oh, thank you. Okay. So I'm feeling feeling like scared of with the job opportunity. I keep on repeatedly questioning, is this enough? Would I be able to earn it doesn't seem like it's quite, that I would be able to earn enough um to keep a roof over my head with like hotels, motels, or whatever. Since as I said, my the income is not high enough for the 3.5 times the rent. And it's like I can't even do Section 8 or low income housing anymore. I can't even do Section 8 or low income housing anymore. At least if you have an issue at a hotel or a motel, at least you can go to another one without any strings attached, like a lease or anything like that. But the gang stalking network, they want to keep you on the move. You know, they want to keep you on the move. You know, but I felt like I wanted to have a job opportunity with enough wage and enough hours where I can be, independent and not have to, you know, panhandle in person or beg online. as I said, the online stalkers won't allow me to make a living with my writings. And they either sabotage or threaten to sabotage my in-person job opportunities, and they have gotten me wrongfully fired and banned from, previous job opportunities. You know, and but sometimes just the in-person perks alone that would get you wrongfully fired from your job. You know, even at Seville Quarter, that Travis guy, and I think that Jamaican guy, that Jamaican gay guy Michael, I think the first day, I think he smear campaigned me to the Travis guy. That's the bartender at the Seville Quarter place. And so, like, Travis allowed the guys, and I was like the only female doing janitorial or whatever. And so I was singled out and treated like less than. So for me working from 7 o'clock in the morning all the way until 4, and I think we only got like, I think it was only 30 minutes of a lunch break. So the guys were able to come at in between 11 and 12 o'clock in the morning. I mean, between morning 11 o'clock in the morning or 12 noon. And the guys were allowed to eat at the table. I mean, at the same bar that Travis was working at. At the same spot, and Travis would talk to him and treat him nice and everything. The guys. Excuse me, but when it comes to me, if the managers or whatever say I can take a lunch break at 12:30 or something, Travis would get an attitude with me and be extremely nasty and abusive and make me leave, and I'm not allowed to be served until 2:30 in the afternoon. And then he forces me to sit in a different room to go eat. This was back in 2021. And so when I questioned him about why he would single me out and treat me different from the guys, his fake excuse was that he pays out of his pocket for our lunch, or that he was forced or made to pay out of his pocket for our lunch. Well, why you don't treat the guys like that though? And then Mr. Doug Mitchell was the manager and giving me like, I think he was deliberately and on purpose giving me burgers that was burnt on the outside and extremely raw on the inside. And then other places of business would give me undercooked or raw burgers as well. And Mr. Doug forced me against my will to have 433, as my clock-in number. The number to clock in and clock out. And then he lied and said that it was the easiest for him to remember. No, your ass is a Freemason perp. And then he will always be perping with the red. And then his brother, Cliff Mitchell, was very nice at first, and even allowed me to have like a couple of, and he even drove me to dentist appointments, and I had like he gave me 2 free dentist appointments, to go to at no extra charge. And like shortly before I was driven to quit, um Mr. Doug started to act weird and start to act like a perp, and throw up satanic hand signs and stuff like that. But almost all of the workers were throwing up satanic hand signs at me and stuff. And Travis, like, when I think when Travis, it was like a week before I actually did end up quitting, or a few days after, Travis treated me so bad that I was gonna end up quitting because of him, the way he was treating me or whatever. And I think I did break down and cry. And then he pretended to fake feel bad or whatever. And Travis was like abusive and mean. And so and Travis mentioned something about that he had a suspended driver's license, so he couldn't drive, and said he was forced to have to ride his bike to work or whatever. And then he tried to tell me that being a bartender, that he didn't get really much of it, that his paycheck was so low and all that. But I was the only one he just dumped all his anger onto me, while he treated the guys like royalty. The guys weren't called greedy. Well, he didn't call me greedy, but he treated me like as if he thought I was greedy. Or and that Roderick guy was, pretty much fat like me. And Roderick was one of the main ones being treated with favoritism. Roderick was a perp. And so I think I was thinking within the past couple of days, I think that Roderick, picked an argument with me, or me and him got into an argument because I rejected his sexual advances. I think that's why he ended up treating me the way he did. Then he started to act passive aggressive and everything. Roderick was definitely an abusive, narcissistic perp. But then, if Roderick was a damn perp and they were perps or whatever, Roderick got fired. But I didn't get fired. They drove me to quit. At Seville Quarter. So and there was another job that I was working at, where they try to make me feel greedy, you know. But I mean, that Phyllis lady, she didn't outright call me greedy, but she treats me like as if she thinks that I'm greedy, you know. And it's like, wow, is there a freaking smear campaign, in person? I'm sitting here eating like to survive. So I'm trying to figure out. Um, but you know what? Now I just got a little bit extra, so I probably would have enough until to push me until Thursday. You know, enough to stay here until Thursday. You know, until Thursday morning. And then if I get the check, um, I don't know if I will get it or not, or if I have to wait until the 29th. But if I do get the check, you know, um it is either a few days. I mean, it'd be like a few days worth of work. I mean, worth of money or whatever. But I don't know how many days that would stretch me. But then if I keep working or whatever, I would continue to need help um to stay off the streets until like at least the 29th, if I'm gonna stay there and continue to work at least until the 29th. Excuse me. And then the 29th, um if I'm still working, by then, it would, you know that combined with the social security check, um I ought to be good for a while, you know and hopefully, you know well, I would not have to ask for as much. But I may have to ask for like a couple of days or a few days more of help. I don't know, but I'm sitting here panicking and feeling scared of not having enough to keep a roof over my head and also have necessities like to be able to eat, and in order to be able to function at work. I mean, I don't know who can, you gotta have the fuel to be able to work. Um, and also, me needing my me needing to buy my own toiletries and supplements, um, you know, hygiene, laundry, bus passes, um, I don't remember what else, but phone bill, um, but yeah, I mean, I mean, it would be so difficult for me to end up back on the streets and you know trying to have a job and be on the streets, and then working at a restaurant. They will definitely tell you something if you smell funky, or not. I mean, if you're working around food and you stink and can't get a bath, you know and then being extra clumsy as hell, um you know being days of sleep deprived, and being sleep deprived and being moody, and me being moody and snappy and getting an attitude with people because I haven't had sleep, you know and being even more hyper vigilant, and me feeling that pressure on my heart because I couldn't get sleep, or having a what could have been an avoidable, you know, medical emergency, or an emergency room or a hospital trip that I could have avoided, but all I had to do was have a freaking place to sleep, you know. Excuse me. So, um, I mean, I know a lot of y'all advice would be to, tell me to just keep trusting God, to provide, and to keep praying and stuff like that. As I said, I can't even have like a freaking permanent low income place to live anymore because of it being so dangerous and unsafe. With the everywhere I try to live permanently, the perp neighbors threaten my life. You know, excuse me. So yeah, I mean, I just I mean, and that's one of the struggles of what people would call the working poor or people that's homeless. If you're homeless and have a job and you're still financially struggling, you know, because there's the working poor and they have homeless people who work too. But I mean, I don't even with the job, it's not enough for 3.5 times the rent for a regular apartment, and also it's I mean I couldn't um even with the Seville Quarter job, had that sleep spot, and I paid for the phone bill and storage bill. Excuse me, and I paid for the YMCA every month, and only during like a hurricane threat I was able to get like a hotel room, but not every night. And most like the nearly all the not I mean I had a few nights in the hotel, but most of those nights I had to sleep on the streets. And that was the money I was getting from Seville Quarter, that plus the SSI Social Security check or whatever. I wasn't begging or panhandling or asking for anything until that time my stuff got stolen. And that was that one time, you know. And then in the gang stalking network, I mean the in person gang stalkers, they lied on me and got me wrongfully banned from that homeless sleep spot. But it seemed like my paycheck, you know, went to you know, the I didn't even have enough where I could set set, set any money aside to save anything. I mean, that was spent on freaking survival. But I had when I was working a temp job at the schools in Gulf Breeze, Florida, part of Pensacola, I was able to stay at that motel and barely making it. But you know, at the middle school they were rude and didn't let me eat. But at the high school, I was able to get lunch for free, and yeah, I don't think I had to pay for lunch. And then at the middle school, sometimes they would give us food, leftover food from the students in the sports and everything. Like if the boys had a pizza party for the football team, um, then I wouldn't have to worry about asking for money for food, because I was able to put my stuff in the refrigerator at the motel, and you know I mean, I didn't even have to worry about food. But um I paid the weekly rate for the motel, and the I was getting paid like um net pay of I was able to get paid daily, and I was getting paid like $72 a day with net pay, but I think with gross pay was more like $84 or something, and it was like $12 an hour. Um, you know, excuse me, but I was barely making it though, you know, struggling, but still have not asked for anything. But then the online perps were harassing me, at bullying, harassing, and threatening me every day. Saying we're gonna find out where you work at, and eventually they did, and they made threats to contact the school and show them my videos, and try to lie and say that I'm dangerous to work around children. But exposing gang stalking, they gang stalked me. The parents would gang stalk me while picking up their kids, bringing their kids, dropping their kids off at the school. You know, and even some of the kids were freaking gang stalking. You know, so not so much the middle school kids, but the high school kids were, a lot of them were freaking perps. But the parents at both schools picking up their kids were perping their asses off. Or they would have perps that would you know, have no kids to pick up. Or they would have no reason to be on the school property. But they would be there to gang stalk me, and surveil and follow me around and everything. And nobody ever arrested them or anything. I mean, I had a reputation for being such a great worker at those schools. And then I ended up being like workplace mobbed off the freaking job. The same thing happened at the YMCA when I was working there in Pensacola. They would tell me that, they would compliment me on having the bathroom so clean and everything. Excuse me. So far, with this job, I completed my third day, and you know, I completed my third day, and and they complimented me on how great I worked. So, but yeah, I mean, when I was at work today, I was thinking earlier about, the gang stalking goals is to reduce the quality of a target's life. You know, and to some people say slow murder of a targeted individual. You know, and I mean, I trying to figure out why have I been feeling so fatigued and tired and of little to no physical energy lately. Even if I would just be laying up in here all day, I would be feel the same way. And I don't even know if the sleep deprivation, excuse me, if the sleep deprivation has something to do with it, or having not enough sleep or not good enough sleep. But um yeah, I mean, I like the job. The job opportunity that I have right now. I just wish that it was enough that I can you know independently keep a roof over my head without having to ask for help. Because and I know that people, if people would still they might not take me seriously by me having a job and still needing help. you know I mean, but if I had a vehicle, it would be easier for me to go and drive to another job, but I don't have a car. um and then at the same time, I'm trying to not burn myself out or be overworked, you know, be burnt out or overworked, you know. So, oh, I know what. Speaking of the greedy issue, I think I don't remember if I talked about it, but yeah, that fake ass Tommy's Cuisine job where they stole my money and they stole my paycheck, and then they lied and said that they had to keep correcting my behavior. And I mean, I worked the shift. I mean, for the Thanksgiving, and everything went perfect. Well, I'm not gonna say perfect, but everything went well. I did the dishwashing job, and they gave us like a lot of free Thanksgiving food, you know, and I got paid honestly and everything. But then I worked there. It was around Mardi Gras 2019, and they stole my paycheck and then lied about it. And still to this day, I never got that paycheck. So I basically worked for free and then didn't even get to eat. And I was homeless then. And then they lied on me and said that they had to keep correcting my behavior. And they lied on me and said that I stole food. Or that I was stealing food or whatever. They told like so many lies on me. You know, so they lied just to keep my paycheck. But the other guys, I mean, the guys that were doing the dishwashing or whatever, they were skinny guys, stuffing their face with food, you know. And the line cook or the chef or whatever, he was abusive, narcissistic, hard, and mean. And he kept lying to me about when I could take a lunch break or get something to eat. And then, they got an attitude and they rushed me out of the place. And I didn't even realize that, well, they try to say, well, you didn't clock out. Well, and they rushed me out so fast that I guess they wouldn't even let me clock out. So I couldn't even get the paycheck. So they lied on me and said that I stole food and that they had to keep correcting my behavior. And they lied about a few other things I don't remember. It was back in 2019. And it's like, what do you mean keep correcting my behavior when the manager just at Tommy's Cuisine on Chapatulas, it was before the shift started. And he got on my case about sitting down or something like that. And that was the only one time I was told something that day. So for them to say that they had to keep correcting my behavior, that was a lie. And then, they wanted to criminalize me for asking about lunch when I was homeless and didn't really have much anything to eat. And I don't even think I had money to eat. Excuse me. But I'm not even the fattest person in the world, though. They have people who are bigger and fatter than me. And nobody controls what they eat or how they eat. Or they got skinny people who eat more than I do or love food more than I do. So, yeah, I mean, for me to be just singled out and treated differently, you know, I mean, you work a shift and get singled out and bullied, and you're not allowed to eat, but everybody else is allowed to eat in front of you. You know, and I don't even know why that Phyllis lady picks on me like that about the food. But she's shorter than me. But it's like the fake foster mom Ann again. The fake foster mom Adrian Felder all over again. You shorter than me, but like, but I'm supposed to be fearful of you. And then they wouldn't even give like clear communication or understandable communication on, you know, like I'm not even allowed to approach them and ask them certain questions about, anything work related. So, I mean, when I was working at the schools in Gulf Breeze, part of Pensacola, I mean, the school police officer loved me enough that he bought me a whole Thanksgiving dinner. You know, he was that thoughtful of me. And then for Christmas, um, some of the faculty and staff, you know, huddled together and you know got me a few little small gift cards for nearby businesses. That totaled up to $75, but I was only able to use 60 because when Dixie they didn't give me the card, but it was like Firehouse Subs, Starbucks, Walmart, Winn Dixie, Dairy Queen, yeah, and so that was like a Thanksgiving. I'm sorry, Christmas gift or whatever. And so then but yeah, um, I think one of the videos is still up there where the online perps try to smear campaign and because I was working at the high school and they had some cake on one of the tables and sometimes they would give it to us. So that James guy, I don't know if he was racist or if he was just mean because he was a perp. And the James guy hated me so much that he will always look away or look down and never gave eye contact. He was like the maintenance guy of the school. And he was rude and mean since my first day. But a few days later, when I asked about the cake, because they had cake for us or certain desserts or snacks or food or whatever, or even pizza or whatever for us, in the teacher's lounge. And so when I would eat there, well, I wanted to, ask for permission first before I just went and touched it. And come to find out that cake was for us. And so when I asked about the cake, the James guy, he got an attitude with me and got rude with me and snuck behind my back and snitched on me and tattled on me to the assistant principal. And the abusive, narcissistic, fake assistant principal berated and condemned and yelled at me and stuff like that. I was still kind of new then. But at the middle school, like as I said, for lunchtime they would be rude and not want to serve us any food or whatever. But at the high school, they were more than glad. But I think they had a Hispanic lady that was rude and never wanted to serve me any food at the high school. But I would have like arguments with her or whatever. And then the other lady said, yes, I am supposed to, have something to eat. If I work my ass off and work hard and work a full day. But when I was at the high school, as I said, I was getting overtime hours, working 6 days a week. And my first day, I think it was longer than 8. I think it was at least I don't remember what time I started, but it was like somewhere probably 11 or 12 o'clock. And then during the day, and then it was like it was after 1 o'clock in the morning when we got off from work that first night. And one of the co-workers, he drove me all the way to I forgot the name of that city. Excuse me. And there's some city. I think it starts with a C. That's in the Pensacola metro area. I can't think of the name, but he took me over there, and I spent the night by his house. And I think he was gone. He went somewhere else and was gone. And then the next day, he took. I don't remember if he took me back to work the next day. You know, I don't remember. I think I do. I think I remember spending the night by his house. No, it wasn't. I mean, I forgot the name of the city though. But then after that, I and it's like wow, like that first day, that first payday, I worked enough that I got like almost $100. Either like I think it was over $100 gross pay and like 90 something net pay. And then I was able to working like 46 hours a week. And then as soon as I started to try to look into getting an apartment and trying to maybe look into getting a car and inquiring about a car and everything, they reduced my work hours and put me at the middle school to where I was getting $72 a day when I could have been getting like over $100 a day. So, but I heard that people with narcissistic personalities, you know, they try to control, you know, your relationship with food because they hate you to the point where they don't want you to exist. They don't want you to live. So, you know, they will try to criminalize you eating, you know, and why should you try to control somebody that you don't like? And if they do what you say, you still don't like them. You still don't like that person anyway. You know. So I mean, if it was another coworker, I never heard, as I said, I never heard of working at a job where you're entitled to half off to get, and then the manager doesn't want you to eat or making remarks to make you feel bad. You know, but I don't even know if that cake incident, what Mr. James did to me at that school, I don't know if that had anything to do with, or if that was the reason why they moved me to the middle school. While all the while telling me I'm such a great asset or whatever. I mean, I don't know what secret underground sneaky shit they did or said behind my back. You know, but Mr. James hated everything about me. I never even did that man anything. But his wife, Diane, was so nice. I met her a couple of times. She was really nice. And I wish I could have asked her, why is your husband an asshole? An immature asshole. you know. But as I said, I don't even know if Mr. James was racist against black people, or if he acted like that because being a perp. But he acted a certain kind of funny when I saw him walking down the street, and I was coming from the Gulf Breeze Library, my first day, and I went to the job at the schools, and I saw him walking, and I asked him, "Am I going the right direction?" And then he was rude and didn't want to help me, or oh, it's just down there or whatever, and he didn't even want to give me directions. In the online perp, Kimberly Harper, one of my twin sisters' cult followers, Kimberly Harper used to be a supporter of mine, but she betrayed and turned against me for no reason and started, being very abusive and sadistic and bullying people. And so Kimberly Harper tried to say that I didn't deserve to work in any affluent areas, or work in any affluent neighborhoods or upscale neighborhoods or anything like that. So, and they even gang stalked me my first day of work, following me around first day of work, even there, like red car, one headlight on the school property at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon or evening or whatever, you know. So, I mean, if I were to eat at the job for a reduced price, that could save me more money than um going to eat somewhere else and paying $20 when I could pay when I could pay $6 or $7 at work. I could pay $6 or $7 at work, and then you know, rather than paying $20 somewhere else for the more like the same thing, you know. But if it's $7, but the full price would have been like $14, you know. So what am I supposed to just, you know, get off the shift? I mean, and I got off on, at 7 o'clock today. It wasn't at 8 o'clock like yesterday, you know. So the restaurant was still in business, food was still being served, and as I said, I even said, "Look, Miss Phyllis, I'm trying to pay," because she's like, "You eating again?" In front of everybody. That humiliated me, made me feel really bad. And she wasn't joking. She wasn't even playing around. And then they get mad and start slamming stuff or get an attitude and make me like, oh, I just get on everybody's last nerve. I'm like, I'm freaking new. I'm new. So I'm new and learning, and y'all make like I'm supposed to have the common sense to just know this and know that. You know. So, as I said, if I'm not even allowed to pay to eat where I work, maybe I don't need to freaking work there. I mean, I don't even know if that's just narcissistic abuse or if this is all part of the gang stalking. And as I said, my twin sister would hypocritically call me fat and greedy and encourage her cult following flying monkeys to call me fat and greedy when she's been big and overweight. How come they don't talk about my twin sister having an eating problem? Or, they don't call her fat and greedy. She can dish it out but can't take it. And the biological sister Ramona would call me fat and greedy hypocritically while she would stuff her face with 4 huge pieces of cake that she stole from a damn a baby's birthday party. I mean, she stole cake she wasn't entitled to. She took the damn cake. She didn't ask. She took it. And simultaneously stuffing her face with 4 huge giant pieces of cake. The cake pieces were so huge that that one big huge piece would freaking serve 12 people. So she stuffing her face with 48 servings of cake in one sitting and hypocritically calling me fat and greedy. But they used to try to call, like, Ramona been fat and greedy, and then hypocritically call me fat and greedy. And then, they would call me and the biological mom, Frances, and the biological brother, Sean. They singled us out and hated us and called us greedy. Fat and greedy. But, even Mark one time got an attitude and called Sean greedy. He tried to say that Sean was greedy. And when I confronted him about it during the argument, he's like, oh, Candy, I would never do that to my brother like that. And they're like, oh, and I'm not your sister? And then he looked me up and down like he thought I was worth shit. When the biological mom, Frances, was alive, people try to call her fat and greedy, But around Hurricane Katrina, she was so anorexic looking and skinny. I wonder how the hell she lost so much weight so fast, And she wouldn't tell me the secret of how she lost so much weight so fast. But the biological sister Belinda was overweight, but I heard that Belinda was suffering depression. Now Wyatt would eat like a hog and stay skinny. But recently I was surprised to see Wyatt suddenly being overweight. Like, what? This is like the oddest thing to see Wyatt be overweight. The latest pictures of me seeing Wyatt being overweight. And so it's just odd to see Wyatt be overweight. I couldn't believe it. And so, and I think family members, well, they didn't try to control Blake, but Blake was a tall, big, huge guy. But nobody was going to control what Blake eats. And nobody was going to call Blake fat and greedy. But if they did, they would make remarks behind his back. Not to his face. Now, the biological sister Belinda, I heard that the Belinda's son, which is my nephew John, John's, I hate that phrase baby mama, but the baby mama Riri, she said that Belinda was depressed and overweight and that Wyatt used to bully and harass her about her weight. That Wyatt used to bully and harass Belinda about her weight. And that was the reason why Belinda ended up getting a tummy tuck. And so Riri blames Wyatt for the reason why the biological sister Belinda is deceased. You know, why Belinda is dead. And we're 40. Me and my twin sister, we're 40 years old. You know, and foster care abuse and foster care abuse and forced psychiatric medications and mercury fillings in my mouth. That's the weight. That was, all that in foster care experimentation. The reason how I ended up so big and overweight. But I heard that some certain people, if they get the fillings removed from their mouth, and then they end up losing weight like seemingly overnight. And I'm like, wow. So, and I heard stories about people who suffered mental health label, and forced to see a psychiatrist and take medicine. And they say that they used to be athletic, fit, and whatever. And then they end up being 400 or 500 pounds. Being, there's a Puerto Rican guy, I think he was Puerto Rican, in New York. And he said he was so athletic and slender and everything. And then once he got on a psych medication, he was like 2 or 3 times my size. Big guy. Because of those psych medications. And they had this lady at the mental hospital in fake Denton, Texas. And she was part of that fake faith-based group. I don't remember her name. But she would talk about how she has ADHD. And she would be like always quick and on the move. But she was anorexic looking and really skinny. And she said that, the side effects of the medication always keep you hungry and make you eat. And it does. But I wish that I can go and other than going to work. I wish that I can, like, for the duration of me being here, I wish that I can take morning walks, for exercise or whatever, but I can't because of the damn gang stalking. Not because I'm lazy, but because, dealing with gang stalking and perps trying to, even when I'm trying to get to work, perps trying to run over me with their cars and everything. Trying to run over me and trying to hit me with their cars on purpose. And that's one of the reasons why I film everywhere I go. So, they're vibrating my body right now. So, Miss Dakota and Mr. Ray, they both got an attitude with me when I try to ask them a question about a question related to nostalgia or nostalgia. How do you pronounce it? The nostalgia of the restaurant. You know, but you hear. I mean, one thing I don't like it, like in general, like I've had past jobs with to have like bossy coworkers that if you have bossy coworkers and then other people gossip about, oh, you never do your job, but you always telling everybody else how to do their job. Or you work everybody else's job except your own. Or something like that. So like that lady, Miss D, from the YMCA in Pensacola, that, bullied me and set me up to get wrongfully fired and banned from the YMCA. And she was still fraudulently and illegally working there. And Miss D, you know, I heard that they sent for her to train me to clean the bathrooms and everything. And she was very abusive, sadistic, and controlling, and setting unrealistic expectations of me. And, try to yell at me and tell me that I need to straddle the toilet and clean the back of the toilet. I'm like, I ain't freaking doing all that, you know. And she was a sadistic bully. And people will say that she would be sleeping in the bathroom or on the clock, or that she would be on her phone or wouldn't be doing her job. And so that guy, Andre West, I don't think he was working at the YMCA no more. But he said that when he found out that Miss D lied on me and got me wrongfully fired, he said that he was mad as hell. He said he was mad as hell. I think he did say he cussed Miss D out every chance he gets because of that. And Miss D, she smear campaigned and lied to me and turned that Daniel guy against me and had Daniel treat me mean. And that abusive, narcissistic Randall Corey Melville guy from the YMCA. He was the one who got me the Seville Quarter job, and he was the one who got me wrongfully banned the second time from the YMCA. And Corey, and yeah, that was the one who was spying on my bathroom activities. And so and Corey was the one who narcissistically bragged, like the people doing the janitorial at the YMCA in Pensacola. They do janitorial, and they were all like severely mentally disabled. Excuse me. And Corey would brag about all the people he fired. And he was abusive and cruel and mean towards that guy, Isaiah. But somebody must have smear campaigned me to Isaiah, because they had Isaiah treating me mean after a while. Isaiah used to be nice and respectful. And he used to say hi to me. But then, they manipulated Isaiah to think he's better than me. So what time is it now? It's 11:51 p.m. at night. Still Saturday tonight, and tomorrow my phone got an alert saying severe scattered thunderstorms and all that. Scattered severe storms possible in your area within the next 24 hours. And then my phone also says rain moves in tonight for a rainy Sunday, but London and Mardi Gras should be dry. Yeah, dry, but then getting cold. So, yeah, I'm just letting y'all know that I may not need as much help, but you know, still gonna be needing help. Even with this job, um, to try to keep a roof over my head, and also necessities like, you know, toilet paper, soap, my bentonite clay, and the other supplement, and laundry, or whatever else I need day to day, and trying to keep the roof over my head and needing help with food and whatever. But excuse me, the gang stalking network, they keep you with forced low income and low wage part time jobs, and they said that over 50% of targeted individuals have at least a minimum of a bachelor's degree. And that a lot of targeted individuals are considered highly intelligent. And they force you to have these low wage part time jobs, and then workplace mob you and keep you suffering, keep you forced homeless, and keep you forced low income and everything, you know. But everything that they want for you, they lie and say this is what you want, and you don't want that. So thanks for listening to me. I love y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow.